Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gabriel, and today we're doing another twin flame energy reading. This reading is meant to be timeless, so no matter when you find it, no matter where you're at on your journey, when you find it, there is a message for you here. Today we're going to be pulling from the Healing Waters Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. I've already shuffled, so we can just go ahead and dive in. First card is the Rainbow. Sweet relief, new beginnings, a new way forward. And if you watch the reading yesterday when I'm posting this, um, there was a lot of breakthrough energy in that reading about, having a lot of success. And this feels like kind of the next cycle is kind of where this is you've kind of broken through and now you've reached this new vibration, this new set of challenges, this new level of peace that you've attained, that you've earned in your life. And that's how the journey is going to be, is that you heal in cycles. But when you have these new breakthroughs, when you have these new beginnings, don't be surprised if you feel like, wait, I just did all this work, I broke through, and now I feel like I'm in diapers again. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing again, or I feel like things are new, or this is a new situation that I'm facing, or I feel more peaceful than I ever did before. you know those things are natural and normal, uh, and it's okay to be where you're at with it. If you're feeling good, great. If you're feeling a little off kilter, you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing right now, that's okay too. It's a part of the process. So just love yourself wherever you're at in that stage of um, you know the the aftermath, so to speak, of your breakthrough. It's a deeper level of peace. It's a new vibration that you are grounding into. The next card is Let It Go. Release the past, forgive, soften, move forward. And I love how both of these are talking about forward movement. So you've transcended whatever it was that you were moving through. So you've had a big transformation, you've had a big breakthrough, and you have to let go of the old that falls away. So anytime that you've done a lot of healing, anything that doesn't serve you falls away. That might be people, that might be habits, that might be way of thinking or ways of thinking, that might be old jobs that don't serve you, or um, anything in your life that no longer serves you. You have to be willing to let it go and fall away so that you can move forward. If you're hanging on to all the baggage from uh, your past, then you're not going to be able to move forward. This journey is one of transformation, of letting go of all the lies and the misaligned beliefs and the limiting beliefs that you've believed about yourself, and that you've believed about God and your twin flame. And if you're hanging on to all these things, you're not going to have the space to welcome in the new love that you've called in. You have to be willing to let go of things that no longer serve you. So I love this. This is really telling you that you're moving forward, but you have to be willing to forgive the past, let go of the past, and move forward into maybe the unknown here. Because both of these are new energy, new beginnings, moving forward, but you have to let go of everything that no longer serves. The next card is Gentle Force, consistency, persistence, patience, the long game. And maybe, since we're talking about a new way forward, maybe you've been acting from a place of impatience before. Maybe you've been thinking, how can I get to my twin flame as fast as possible? How can I get to my life purpose as fast as possible? And I'm very guilty of this myself. I, have a lot of challenges when it comes to patience. I want to, you know, go to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing without having really grounded or really um, you know come into this new place and really ground it before I move forward. And though that temptation is there, I've learned along my journey that that's not the way. And if you continue to push forward and try to drive things, you're going to end up controlling, you're going to end up burning yourself out, and losing all the things that you feel like you've built in that process, because you're doing it without your whole self, you're doing it without God, and anything that's built without love has to fall away so that you can build things up with love. So even though patience and persistence and playing the long game seems like, oh, that's the longest way, like, can't there be another way? Can't there be a faster way? The fastest way actually is that way, the patience and the long game, because you're not building things up and having them crumble and having to redo it all over again. You are taking one step at a time, one foot in front of the other, and you're building something that is going to last. You're going to build your foundation of your union. Your union isn't a small thing. It's not just this relationship that you come together and you watch Netflix together and you make dinner and that's it, and you just do that every single day. That's not your relationship with your twin flame. Your twin flame is there to challenge you, to trigger you, yes, to love you, but to love you into your divine self, your highest self, and your relationship with God. That is what their primary purpose is in your life. And so as you build your foundation to be with them, you're going to, build this stable foundation for you to fully be yourself, for you to face the challenges that they trigger within you and not fall apart. You'll have a stronger relationship every time you move through those challenges. And if you learn to do that on your own, you learn to do that with God and without them in your life. When you've mastered that with yourself, you'll have it mastered with them, and you'll be able to handle the waves and the cycles of your union and your relationship and your challenges much more easily than if you just try to force your way through. You can't battering ram your way through your relationship with your twin flame. It just won't work that way. So learn to face your challenges step by step and from the inside out, and that will give you a much more stable relationship when you do come together. And the next card is the well maidens, kindness, respect, reverence, and compassion. And yeah, I feel like the emphasis really here is on compassion, but what I'm also feeling is this being the well maidens is like keeping your well full and like filled with love, right? You want to have compassion for yourself and your twin flame as you're going through this. You're both going through challenges. Even though it might look like your twin flame is out partying with someone else, or they're off doing their own thing and you have no idea where they are, what they're doing, and you're like, how could they possibly be going through the same challenges I am? They are going through the same thing that you are because they are one with you. It may look different on the outside. They may have a more physical, tangible experience of their challenges. Maybe they have to go through dating all these people that aren't quite right for them. And they have this experience, this contrast, and this inner conflict. Whereas you are going within and healing it with the mirror exercise. You're both doing the same thing. It just looks different on the outside. And you're not going to lose your twin flame to someone else, to something else. The only thing that can keep you and your twin flame apart is your choice to either heal or not, and to move through your challenges or not. So when you continually choose to move through your challenges, your twin flame is doing that too. So having a lot of compassion and kindness and um, you know continually loving yourself and filling your own well up rather than looking to them or to others to fill up your well, you're going to, again, build that foundation to sustain your union when you do come together. Because, if you're treating your twin flame with resentment, that's resentment that you're holding towards yourself somewhere. So have compassion. You're moving at, again, we're talking about the long game here. You want to have compassion for yourself in the steps that you take forward. It's okay if you stumble. It's okay if you make a mistake. I was watching a TFAS class a couple days ago, and it was really profound that one student was asking about her twin flame and asking, like, well, he doesn't meet me here, and sometimes he's frustrated with me, and sometimes I'm frustrated with him. And, Jeff was relaying to the student that it's really important that you learn and have compassion with yourself as you're learning to love your twin flame. You're teaching your twin flame how to love you, and your twin flame is teaching you how to love them. And it is a process of, learning how to be there for them when they need you, learning to point them to God when you need to point them to God, and vice versa. And if you're closed off to making mistakes in your union with your twin flame, and you're closed off to them making mistakes, you're closing off to the learning process, you're closing off to the growing process, and you're actually turning that relationship from unconditional love to conditional love. I'm only going to love you if you get it perfect the right time, in the first time. I'm only going to love myself if I get it right every single time. You can see how that's not actually very loving at all. And to treat your twin flame or to treat yourself that way is not very kind, is not very compassionate. So this is a reminder that you want to have that compassion. You want to be gentle with yourself and forgiving with yourself if you make those mistakes along the way, because that's how you learn and grow. And the bottom of the deck is the ripple effect, part of something bigger. Details are taken care of. Yeah, you are, working through your blocks on a day-to-day basis, but the bigger picture here is that you're moving towards your ascension. You're moving towards your union. And in order to love, you do have to take into account the details of your life, that you have to refine your life, but don't lose sight of the overall goal here. You and your twin flame are already one. You and your twin flame are already in union. Your ultimate goal is to ascend and be, in perfect union with God. And it can be very easy to lose yourself in the day to day of, they're not physically here with me, but they are with you in spirit. They are with you in spiritual truth. And you are eternally one. You are eternally together. And if you just focus on this lifetime, if you just focus on, oh, the year or however many years it is that you've been on this journey, um, and how long that's going to take, then you're losing sight of the eternity that you're building towards. That doesn't mean that you won't be with your twin flame in this lifetime. If you have a desire in your heart to be with your twin flame in this lifetime, that means that there is a path for you to be with them. But um, don't, be so short sighted on the, oh, I have to be with them in the next 3 years, or I might as well just give up and find a soulmate. Well, you're not very committed to your journey, are you? You're not really committed to yourself. I'm only going to give myself 3 years to learn how to love myself. And if not, then I'm just going to settle. That's exactly what you're saying there. But if you play the long game here, like we were seeing in these other cards, and you look at the bigger picture, you are building that greater foundation for an eternity with your twin flame. Every lifetime, every moment, you are always eternally with them. And if you put it in that perspective, the small amount of time that it takes to do your inner work and come into union and harmonious union with them is nothing by comparison. And you trade maybe, you know, a, some inner work to love yourself and to continue on that journey after you come into union. Spoiler alert, it does not end when you come into union, but you trade a couple years of what? Going out to a bar, watching Netflix with some random person, dating, in order to be with someone eternally and always have your best friend, your partner, your lover by your side. So to me, that sounds like a no brainer. Like, you just go all in and you will manifest your twin flame. You will be in your harmonious union, and you get to keep that forever. So don't forget the bigger picture here. And, that all you're doing is loving yourself. And regardless of how long it takes, loving yourself is always, always, always worth it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. If you'd like support on your twin flame journey, if you'd like one-on-one coaching or a personalized card reading to help you understand and move through your blocks to union, you can find my services at SacredTwinFlameUnion.com, and I will see you all in the next video.